This is super quick. This is only about half foot away. Hello and welcome back to RC Model Reviews. My name's Bruce Simpson, I'm your reviewer, and this is part 2 of the MXP230 review, the flight tests. And the flight tests were done this weekend, not only by myself, but by a number of other people, members of the Forest Fliers Club and visitors who couldn't get enough of this thing. Honestly, the performance was so fantastic, everyone was delighted, and even those who had never flown mini quads before took to this thing like a duck to water. It was just amazing to see people fly these for the first time. Now overall, the one thing that everybody said was, my goodness, it's fast, because it is a fast little quad. This actually flew really quickly. It didn't do any racing on the weekend, we were too busy doing other stuff, but it's certainly, in a racing environment, this would be a very competitive craft, certainly with the setup we've got on here. And of course, when you're testing a mini quad, it's not just the frame, it's the motors, it's the controller, it's the ESCs, it's the props. Everything plays a part in how it performs. My summary of this machine, well, you know, I think other people say it better than me. This thing's got some serious speed, eh? I wish it wasn't a cold day so my camera would focus better. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I have to get one myself.
What were you flying before?
Turnigy SK450.
Yep.
Running the KK board.
And this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more stable and
sweet.
a bit faster.
And despite some very heavy landings, because when those 1400 milliampere hour batteries give up, they give up real quick. So in this piece of video here, you can see the craft almost falls from the sky, and it lands with quite a resounding thump.
Oh.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Oh, you're wobbly coming down.
Recirculating in the air.
What did you do? Run out the car?
No, battery went.
Yeah,
so let's see if it survives the landings. Beautiful. Perfectly intact. Didn't even break the props, mate.
No, it came in dead flat.
Sweet. So, tester for today is Adam. What do you think of it, Adam?
Mate, that is very, very fast and very impressive.
Yeah, you like that one?
I do.
But as you can see, absolutely no damage at all. Not even broken props. That's pretty damn good, I've got to say. Now, as I say, there's a lot of bits on here that are basically going under test. Now, the little FrSky Delta8 receiver, brilliant. Didn't miss a beat working with the Aurora 9X. So this was flown out to quite significant range and dipped below the hill a few times, no problems. Didn't miss a beat. So that receiver seems to be working very well. I love the fact you can bind it to so many different transmitters, which means if we need to set up a different transmitter on the field, we can do it. Other people bring their transmitters, they can bind them to this as long as they're the Futaba FHSS or the FrSky or the high-tech. Now also the little Naze Afro Mini board, that worked incredibly well, every bit as good as the full-size Naze 32 board. And some people have noted and they remarked that I've mounted it further forward than the centre of gravity, and they're quite right. It is mounted quite a way forward. In fact, it's almost in line with the front arms. And what effect has that had? Well, nothing. Couldn't tell any difference having that board mounted forward. And by mounting it forward, it means you've got more room for your battery in the battery compartment area there. Other people also noticed that I'd put a cable tie between two of the spaces, the vertical spaces there, to stop the battery moving forward if you have a bit of an accident. And yeah, that's why I put it there. And I hope, otherwise the battery could move forward and smack into your flight controller board and cause all sorts of problems. So yeah, if you're building one of these, stick a cable tie. In fact, on a lot of these quads, if you're using batteries within the frame, stick a cable tie across some of the spaces just to stop that battery from coming forward if you have a bit of a accident. Never likely to happen when I'm flying, of course, because I fly like a nana. The motors, these, I think they're the HL2304s, they certainly went well. Everyone was remarking at the speed this thing had, and it's also got a hell of a lot of punch when you open it up with the Gemfan 5x3 props. So the whole combination, the synergy was just brilliant, and everyone that flew this thing loved it. They'd still be flying it now if we hadn't run out of batteries. Honestly, it was getting a turn on it was becoming a little bit difficult. Now, you've probably seen a lot of the flight footage already on my XJet channel if you've a subscriber to that. But in case you didn't, I'm going to put some flight footage up here so you can see the flying we did and the responses that I got from some of the people who were watching and flying the thing. But before I do that, my summary, what do I think? Well, it's a thumbs up. I mean, it is a really, really good frame. It's really tough. We proved that on the weekend. It flies really well. It's, despite the fact it's made of fiberglass, it's actually not that heavy when you put it on the scales. It actually turns out pretty good. It's very easy to fly. The people who'd never flown mini quads before just took to it like a duck to water, and that's got to be brilliant. And yet it performs well, and it's just covers all the bases really. And also because it's fiberglass, I think it's $130 versus the $150 or more for the carbon frames. So if you're getting into mini quads, well, and you want a brand name frame that's going to go together quickly, it's going to be tough, it's going to fly well, then you can't go too far wrong with this thing. So all mini quads are good, but this is one of the better ones. And will I be swapping it for my blackout? I don't know. You have to wait and see the shootout video when I do that later on after I've finished reviewing the QAV250 and do the flight test for the ZMR250, the Chinese one. Then I'll tell you which one is my favourite, and it may surprise you. There you go. If you've got questions, comments, put them on the bottom of the video. If you've got any suggestions for further information you might like to know on this thing, then let me know and I might do a follow-up video later on. In the meantime, I'm going to get back to the bench, but I'll leave you with some flight video for the MXP230 fiberglass edition.
This is super quick. This is only about half throttle, eh?
I haven't got a battery alarm on, so I don't know how long the battery lasts. Needs a bit of TPA. Ooh.
It's a little bit grainy, yeah? It's still quite nice.
The footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that little. You're running 600 on yours. That's only a 200 milliwatts. So.
A little bit.
Mine's got great big bloody white lines all through it all the time.
Yeah, no, there's a few little lines on that when I went straight up.
Yeah, well, get straight above you.
Yeah, I haven't got a power filter on that. It's just straight onto the battery. So I'll put an LC filter on.
It's going too quick for you, Bob. It's going too quick for you, mate.
You want a photo?
You bring it in so we can get some footage. Shame there's no decent light today.
That's not Bob.
No, it's over here. Come back towards you another 30, 40 feet. Now you got him. He's right in front of you now. Yeah, Bob, you want a shot? There he is coming in for you. Come down a bit. You're about 6 feet off the ground there. 3 feet off the ground now.
I was a mile away from the fence.
No, just getting the take.
Yeah, I don't want to take off Tom's testicles.
It's got a bit of punch there, mate.
It has.
I've lost it now.
You're going for it. You go, dog. Here we go.
Having trouble keeping up with this thing, man.
Look at it. It's going like a spoiled cat. Couple, tree, grass.
Good racing quad?
This is quick.
Yep.
This is very quick. I like it. Can this go home in the little blue case?
Oh, is this
No, this is the MXP230.